Hey guys, my name is Ima Apabia, and today I'm going to be talking about color vision defects, specifically red-green color blindness. Firstly, what is color blindness? Color blindness is a deficiency in the way a person perceives color and not a form of blindness at all. Before we get into red-green color blindness, a few facts to note about the normal color vision is that it is usually trichromatic, containing three classes of cones known as the blue, the green, and the red cones, also known as the short, medium, and long wavelength sensitive cones, respectively. Note, however, that the cones cannot convey information about wavelengths, but only about the rate of light absorption. Now, going into red-green color blindness, it is an X-linked recessive trait that is most prevalent in males than it is in females. It arises from mutations, and the red and green photopigment genes lie in tandem on the X chromosome. Note again that due to the closeness and similarity of the red and green cone photopigments, the gene array is prone to be recombined unequally, which may result in deletions of the whole gene or in hybrids. Now, there are two types of red-green color blindness. The first is dichromacy, and the second is anomalous trichromacy. Under dichromacy, it is going to be the most severe. It depends on two pigments for color vision as opposed to three, and it is due to the loss of genes of a particular class of cones or from mutations, but that happens rarely. Under anomalous trichromacy, it is going to be less severe. It depends on trichromatic vision as opposed to dichromacy, and it results from mostly gene rearrangements that cause hybrids or what they call chimeric genes. Now, under dichromacy, we have two types, the first being protanopia. Protanopia is when the long wavelength photopigment is missing, meaning that red is absent. We can kind of see how somebody with protanopia views the world as opposed to somebody with normal color vision. The second under dichromacy is deuteranopia. This is when the medium wavelength photopigment is missing, which basically means that the green is absent. And we can also see again how somebody with deuteranopia views the world as opposed to someone with normal color vision. Under anomalous trichromacy, we have protanomaly. Protanomalous individuals are usually trichromatic, only having an S pigment or an M or M-like pigment, which is believed to be caused by rearrangements within the normal tandem area. They lack the normal L pigment, and they have more than one pigment gene remaining on the X chromosome area, which typically include one or more M genes. It is actually a parallel to protanopia. Now, for deuteranomaly, it is the most common type of anomalous trichromacy. In fact, it is the most inherited color vision defect, believed to occur at a rate of 25 times higher than any other red-green color vision defect. They are also trichromatic, depending on just an S-cone photopigment and two spectral subtypes of L cones, which means that the M class is missing. It is also a parallel to deuteranopia. Now, we are going to be going into a comparison between people with color vision blindness and normal vision. Starting with the play age, this is the age where a child should engage in play and learning with colorful objects such as toys and accessories. Kids with color vision blindness, however, will have difficulty in naming and identifying these colors. For instance, a kid with deuteranomaly will only be able to name 4 colors out of a 24-color pencil box. Because of things like this, the kids are usually bullied and ridiculed for being slow learners, in quote. This causes embarrassment for the child, which can lead to behavioral issues and also impaired social play because the kids get easily lost and fussy. Moving on to the school age, we see that most students are still unaware of their condition. This is an age when most students are starting to learn a variety of subjects, especially the sciences and the arts. These individuals are usually going to have difficulties in these subjects, especially in subjects where color is a teaching tool, like in mathematics or geography, for instance. This then leads to lower academic achievements. Another issue these students will face is lower sports participation. It has been observed to occur during a variety of sports at this age. Moving on to young adulthood, specifically in conscription, color vision is involved in a variety of military activities and training. Certain vocations in Air Force and Navy require normal color vision. For instance, the people in these services may have to read color terrains or maps, so we can see how this may not benefit an individual with color blindness. This then leads to preclusion from certain grades in these services. For the middle to late adulthood, these individuals will face difficulties with everyday tasks that come easy to people with normal color vision. For instance, they will face difficulty in driving because they are not able to properly tell the differences in the colors of the traffic lights and the road signals. And the inaccurate perception of these things can lead to accidents. They will also face problems when it comes to picking a career, as there are going to be a lot of restrictions for people who don't have normal color vision, especially in jobs where color vision is really important. For instance, in jobs like piloting, firefighting, and even in some medical professions. Being colorblind leads a lot of people to shy away from their dream jobs because they really want to avoid the discrimination it comes with, especially in the workplace. It has also been found that in some cases, it can affect one's health because of the effect color has on appetite and food. Not being able to properly perceive the colors of food can actually lead to poor intake, which leads to malnutrition. Now, moving on to how to access red-green color blindness, there are going to be 4 tests that are commonly used. A fact is that not a lot of people are aware of their conditions, and this is because it is not a routine clinical practice, because this test can become complex for the doctors. The first test is the Ishihara test. It is a readily available test. In fact, it is so readily available that it can be a disadvantage because people can just learn the answers from somewhere else and go in and take a test and cheat their way through getting the job, for instance. It is not expensive. It has a high sensitivity and specificity. It can be used for people as young as 5, and it detects protein and gluten defects, and its failure criterion is 3 to 5 errors. Note that the number of errors, however, does not indicate severity, but if you're making a few errors, you most likely have a mild effect, and if you're making a lot of errors, you most likely have a severe case. The second test is the Richmond HRR test, which is actually a confirmation of the Ishihara test just mentioned. It guards against people cheating. It also has a very high sensitivity and specificity, but it is slightly less than that of the Ishihara test. It detects tritone defects in addition to protein and gluten defects, and it can be used with very young children. The next test is the Medmon C100 test. This test is only used for individuals who have failed the Ishihara test. It distinguishes between proteins and glutens. It is an inexpensive test. It is relatively fast, and it can diagnose women who are carriers of either protanomaly or the protanopia gene. The last test is the Farnsworth D15 test. It groups color vision blindness into mild, moderate, or severe. A fail indicates moderate or severe, and a pass indicates mild. There is, however, some uncertainty about its failure criterion. Now, there is no cure for red-green color blindness, but there are a few management techniques. For instance, colored filters have been used, corrective glasses have also been utilized, and layering your glasses with multiple layers of a coat made up of a transparent material that can filter out a band of certain wavelengths has also been used. However, these techniques are high cost and bulky, and so a color filtering contact lens is being worked on, and it has been found to be promising for color vision defects management because it can be customized specially for the individual. And as opposed to the other methods, it is relatively low cost because the dye used is not expensive. Its only drawback is that the dye diffuses into the PBS solution, which they use to store it. Also, the use of gene therapy to treat color blindness in humans looks promising, but this is still a work in progress. Now, the prevalence of red-green color blindness varies across different races. It has been found that in the European Caucasians, about 8% of men and about 0.4% of females are affected. In the Chinese population, the prevalence varies from 4 to 5% in men and 0.7 to 1.7% in females. For Africans and African Americans, it varies from 2 to 7.2% in males and about 0.81% in females. And in the Native American population, it goes from as low as less than 2% to about 8% in males. In the locations where we can see that the variation is high, it is most likely going to be caused because these people are descendants of an interracial marriage between a particular race and Europeans. Now, I chose to do this topic because for a condition that is a normal occurrence, there is not enough awareness about it. There is not enough awareness about how it gets tested, how easy it is for it to be tested, how to get parents to watch out for the signs that tell them that their child may be colorblind so that they can start to seek management early, because the earlier is always better. I think it is important to talk more on this issue and try to figure out ways to make our society more colorblind friendly because this is a condition they cannot control. Thank you guys for watching.